I'm starting to try and do some work despite not being particularly well because of my tooth problem infection, and immediately as I've really started reading, I'm being made that noise out by Margaret Medina's persona, pressure around my head, ears, and my actual, it goes through my respiratory system, starting to build ever so gradually. But I'm definitely being interfered with to the point that I'm so distracted by the interference that I cannot effectively do anything. It's absolutely soul destroying. But more than that, I cannot do anything. It's horrendous. I'm being shown Pauline pointing. It's a pressure across my head that's built up, but it's immediately as I try to do anything productive, and it's all this almost imperceptible and a gradual build up from that, like of Margaret Medina's persona making oral noises, watery noises and breathing noises when they're not actually given sound bites, so that are made up of words and vocabulary. And it's coming through my body, at my body. It's horrendous. I'm being shown them pointing to the other side. I have just set up in about half an hour. It's taken a lot of grit to set up, to identify the bits of areas that I wanted to read. Got all this out. I've got some job descriptions up. I want to go through it, and immediately as I've sat in the quiet, started reading the first paragraph, all this noises is being projected at me. It's coming from in front of me, through me, that way. I'm being shown Pauline bearing down. It's creating, being told. So hardly audible, but a very clear soundbite. Thank you. And it's coming through the excess, my excess respiratory fluids. I just don't know what to do. I cannot. I'm sitting here. There's not a reason in the world that I shouldn't be being productive, getting on with things now. Gotten over the worst of my fever that came with my tooth trouble, and I'm being tortured. But I can't make money then, and I can't. You know, my existence is inviable. But it's also reducing me to a vegetative state. That sound is coming through my body. It's been 5.5 years of being tortured. It is reducing me to a complete vegetative state. On top of which I am in reality receiving a lot of abuse, such as Nathan Moore calling me a tosser, and other things like that. You know, just gratuitous abuse in reality as well. So my plan, as it's about 5 o'clock, 5:30 when I started, was just to work for 4 hours, just to try 4 hours. I'm being mouthed at, you know, and it's just destructive. 4 hours until 9 o'clock, then from 9 until midnight to just to refresh my mind about what police reports I want to make. But now I've spent at least half an hour flinching from the sound interference, and then deciding to actually make this recording because it was so interfering that I couldn't just put up with it. You know, I was just devastated. I do not know what to do. If I turn the tape off and then try again and it builds up, it's just like banging my head against a brick wall, and then I get more and more frustrated to actually want to kill myself. I would rather be dead. I want a fucking concrete block, because I'm just being sat here and everything's uncomfortable. I can't follow anything other than complete trash, like watching somebody else on like a Big Brother type documentary, sitting around and mucking about. That is literally all I'm capable of, but it is rotting my brain. So the simple exercise of applying for jobs was as much for the exercise of applying my brain. I'm being mouthed at from Margaret Medina's persona, coming from my the lap level at my left hand side. Got crackling in my right hand side ear. Now I've got her coming up actually from within my stomach and up. It's horrendous. I don't know what long-term damage it's doing for 5.5 years. All I've done in 5.5 years is write this in terms of my work, actually creating anything. Not good enough. It's scary. Not good enough. I can't breathe. I've got respiratory fluid. I'm being blown up. I'm being pointed to go to the other station. I have literally just sat up here with all my work to try and do something. I've got nothing in the world to bother me. And then it's all this interference from every angle zapping me. The dog's settled down. You know, there's absolutely no reason. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm being told to report Robert Perino's U group by Pauline Thompson's persona just a second ago. You know, I'm sitting here flinching. I've got Margaret Medina still at lap level, now blowing shush, crackling through my skull, pain through my skull, from my forehead on my forehead. And constant gobbling from lap level at my lap.
Census Day is the 21st of March. Look out for more information in the post office.